You guys, I have not lived in that many places. I attempted to move to another different state in a different region. This was my Kansas trip story that I told you guys about years ago. And one time we tried moving up north, but that was an absolute utter disaster that only lasted maybe 4 or 5 days. And I am so grateful that we came back. But if any of you have some age to you, say your 40, mid 40s, 50s, 60s, there is one question that I would like to ask you, and that is if you have remained at a place for at least a decade or two, or maybe you have been in the same place your entire life, have you observed any deterioration in your town, in your city, wherever you live? And the reason I ask that is because I don't know if I should take this personal. I know it's ridiculous. I don't have that kind of power. It's just me trying to apply a logical answer to something that doesn't have it. But sometimes I feel like I bring bad luck to places because I remember when we moved out from my hometown, I feel like that's when I started bringing bad luck to the new places I go to. My hometown seemed to be all right until we moved out. We moved out and then revisited, and it was just falling apart. It could use some landscaping, it could use more cleanliness, it could use more people working, more businesses flourishing, the schools being taken care of, repaired, or maybe renovated, anything like that. And then the newer places I moved to, it was like I remember what they were decades ago, but then when I revisit them, same thing. I see that they're run down, they're dirty, they're having trouble with keeping businesses alive, or the schools are having trouble either growing, expanding, or maintaining their staff. And a lot of programs continue to be cut. And I remember when I was a student, that was a big part of the discussion, and it was always surrounding the arts. They wanted to cut the arts really bad because of how we needed to be more competitive in the sciences and mathematics so that we can build weapons to destroy each other, right? Stuff like that. And then when I think about my life as an adult, I remember when I moved to this area, and I used to think it was great. It was significantly better than the other places I've been to. But it started to change slowly but surely, and it had to do with, I want to say, politics. I feel like politics killed this place because I noticed that it was around 2016 and 2018 that I started observing some changes. And it happens to line up with the same thing I just mentioned, how funding for some programs were cut and a lot of experienced people were either retiring or moving out. Every single place I have been to, and I have asked, hey, has this place always been like this? Or has it ever been lit, jumping, anything like that? They say, yeah, years ago. But then the people who made it so started quitting. Or in some cases, they began to be residents of the shadow world, or those things just ended because other things were prioritized. Overproduction or overproductivity of other things were prioritized as opposed to the things that made the place be more communal, but in a healthy way. And I'm just curious, is this happening in your place as well? Because I don't think this is an accident. I really think that when we describe things in a negative way, those things are real. I can tell you that I have seen it, I have experienced it, I have witnessed it, and even the places that some people have told me they come from, I have been able to visit myself, and I can observe that they don't resemble a place that would be vibrant and successful. And they all have that thing in common, especially if you're in an old town, an old city, an industrial one. You just see those run down, old, abandoned buildings, and you want for someone to buy that and develop it, but at the same time, you don't because there's no telling what kind of development is going to take place. Is it going to be more stupid retail, or is it going to be more overpriced luxury apartments that are trying to be catered to people from out of state to come here, but it's people with big city paychecks? And that results in those of us who are here, who are actual locals to the place, we end up displaced because our wages, of course, are not keeping up with inflation, and we also don't have the connections or the qualifications to have one of those big city, big paychecks type of thing. So, yeah, you guys, I just wanted to let it all out, express myself on this one, and hear what some of you guys may have to say, because I really feel frustrated that this is the way of things. Okay, that's it. Bye.